Hi and welcome to Casey Nails. My name is Kylie Cruz. So today I'm going to be doing a video on 5 crucial points when applying press-on nails. I wanted to create this video because I feel like sometimes people struggle with applying press-on nails and then getting them to stay, or they put them on and they are crooked and they don't like how they turn out. So I'm hoping this video helps you guys either keep your press-on nails to stay on and or helping you when applying them so you can do it correctly. But before we get started, if you are new here, hi, my name is Kylie. I hope you like and subscribe to my channel and that you stick around. And if you are a returning subscriber, I want to thank you so much for supporting my channel, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Okay, so step number 1, I would say, is the most crucial, and it's prepping your natural nails. There are a few parts to this step, so bear with me if it gets confusing, but these are the most crucial parts in order to get your press-on nails to stay. So the first part that I wanted to include in step 1 is clipping your natural nails. Now I always do this because I don't want the overhang to be seen underneath, so that's why I do that, but you don't have to do this. So this next one is very crucial, and I would say yes, you need to do this. This is pushing back your cuticles. I always use a cuticle dissolver. It just makes a huge difference to me. It makes the cuticle soft and just easily glides off of the natural nail when I am using that cuticle pusher. So I do recommend one of these. I do have another video talking about the application for putting press-on nails and just kind of the parts and items themselves, so I'm not going to go into depth about this, but I did just place them on all of my cuticles and I let it sit for 15 seconds, and then I go ahead and wipe it off. I'm going to take that pusher and I'm going to go at a little bit of an angle, not flat and not too much of an angle where I'm going to damage or slip onto my skin, but just enough, and I'm going to push back that cuticle until I get all of the extra skin off of that nail. Now you don't need one of these fancy metal cuticle pushers. There are wooden sticks, there are the plastic ones that come within the kit of a press-on nail set. Go ahead and use those, they all work. Just be very gentle when doing this step. You do not want to damage your cuticle area or the skin on your fingers. You don't want to accidentally slip. So just keeping in mind that I have been doing this for a little bit of time, so I'm a little bit faster at it. Obviously this is sped up, so this is not in real time. I'm not that fast, but yes, so it takes practice. Sometimes, also it takes just like knowing and feeling like how much pressure to put on your nail and removing that cuticle. So everything is like just with time, trial and error. Another reason I like to do this step, and I find it being so crucial, is because that extra skin that sits on that nail, well, then when you're applying that press-on nail, it's not bonding and or sitting on the natural nail. It's sitting on top of that skin, and you don't need that extra skin anyway. So go ahead and take that off. And I also will use a cone bit here with the e-file. And again, I'm not a professional. Please do this at your own risk and whatever you have readily available and feel comfortable using. This is just what I do, and just to get the rest of that off, I do this on the sidewalls and I do that on the rest of my cuticle just to fully remove that extra skin. You'll also find that removing this extra skin and the cuticle it just looks better overall in the end, because I can really push that full cover nail tip, which is the press-on nail, up to that nail bed. So it looks and blends so much more naturally than if you were to have it a little bit raised, and it just doesn't look like it flows all in one like a natural nail would. And that's just like one of the other reasons why I do this. It looks so much more blended, and you will see that at the very end. So I removed all the dust and dead skin off my nails after I did the e-file and cuticle pushing, and I did have a tiny bit of overhang of just like the skin that I wasn't able to get off without clipping it. So that's what I'm doing right here. I don't always do this step, but as you can see, I was showing you the piece that did come off. If you don't have any of those, it's completely fine. You can just move on to the next step, which is buffing the natural shine off of the nail. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Now, this step is not to take a layer off of the nail, so don't put a lot of pressure on the nail. You're simply taking the shine off. So I'm going to do this as light as I possibly can with still being able to see that it's removed. And I'm also using the less textured side of the file. So that means if I'm having 180 grit, the 180 would be less rough. So the higher the number, the less rough it is. So I'm going to be using 180. Okay, so I'm going to be using a nail dehydrator. This is Model Ones, and I'm going to go ahead and do that on all of the nails. You can see it dehydrating the nail, so just do that until you can actually see it. But you can use isopropyl alcohol or rubbing alcohol on a lint-free wipe as well. This step is also important because I'm trying to get all of the oils off of that nail, and that's exactly what this does. So this is filing number 2, and it's etching the inside of the press-on nail. So this actually is very important because it too has a shine and it's slippery. So if you don't etch it, which means getting that shine off, it's not going to adhere as well with the glue and onto your nail. So I'm going to go ahead and etch it with my e-file. If you don't have an e-file, you could use just a normal nail file. It's a little bit more difficult, but it is doable. And then you want to make sure you're removing that dust. Another part in step 2, which is just making sure that everything is good with the press-on nail itself, is to make sure that it's fit sidewall to sidewall, but also at your cuticle. So it is sidewall to sidewall, as you could see, but also if it doesn't align to your cuticle shape, you can file around the bottom of that nail to fix it. So I just mentioned fitting your nails correctly sidewall to sidewall. So this is step 3, making sure that you really do have that perfect fit. So sidewall to sidewall is side to side of that nail. You want to make sure that you're not putting pressure on the press-on to make it fit. So just being able to put that nail on top of the natural nail, it should fit correctly. Do not put pressure on the nail to make it fit. So next is having the correct amount of glue and glue application. So I like to use a brush-on nail glue. I think it's the easiest. I think it's super easy to close and use again because it doesn't get stuck around the edges and stuff, but also because I can concentrate it where I want it and spread it evenly on my nail. So to elaborate more on the amount of glue, I want to put a layer of glue on the press-on nail, and I want it towards the center of the press-on nail, but obviously not where it's gonna overhang the skin. So I'm putting it on the back, and I'm putting that layer on first because it doesn't dry as fast as if I were to put the layer on my natural nail. So then I'm going to go ahead and put a whole layer of glue on the natural nail, concentrating it to the center as well. And then I'm going to take that press on and I'm going to push it towards the back of the cuticle and then down, kind of like a teeter-totter, but we will go over that in just a second. So the whole reason, like I said before, was to clean up the cuticles at the very beginning so we could push that press on to the back of the cuticle and have it look as natural as possible. So that is exactly what I'm doing. So I began to apply the layer concentrated in the middle of the press on, and then a thin layer to my natural nail with a glob concentrated to the middle as well. And then I'm pushing it back towards the cuticle as much as I can and then down. A pointer would be to try and go at a 45-degree angle towards the back of the cuticle, and then you're going to lay it flat onto the nail, almost like you're doing Gel-X nails if you ever do those. But if you don't, then that is the biggest pointer I can give you, besides not laying it flat onto the nail. Do not go flat, because potentially then you can have the glue squeeze out the back onto your nail. You just don't want that. So 45-degree angle, back towards the cuticle, and then down onto the nail. Another thing that I want to mention that I feel is crucial and just the most easiest way to apply press-on nails is starting with the pinkies. So as you can see, I started with my left hand and I'm starting with the pinky, and I'm gonna go all the way up until my middle finger, and then I'm gonna do the other hand, my pinky, all the way up into the middle finger. And that's because I'm using my thumbs for everything. So it's just easiest to be able to save that for last. Again, I'm concentrating the glue to the center of the press-on nail, and then a thin layer onto my natural nail, putting extra glue in the center as well. You can see I do that right there. And then I'm taking that press-on nail and I'm going to go at a 45, which is what I'm showing you right here, and then flat. So 45 and then flat. And I kind of do the motion. Do not go flat, as I said before. 45, then go flat onto that nail. So I'm doing that right here. Again, just to make your life easier, start by applying press-on nails at your pinky and moving towards the thumb. It is the easiest way to do that because you use your thumbs for everything. And the last and final step is cuticle oil, and this is optional, but I do find it very necessary because at the beginning we did use a dehydrator and isopropyl alcohol to clean the nails off. So we want to get some hydration back. So this is the final look. I do think it looks the most natural because I was able to get that press on all the way back to the cuticle. As you can see, there is no gap, and I just think it looks really good. I don't know if you'd be able to tell these are press-ons if someone were to see them, but I think that's just why it's important to do that prep work at the beginning. Another thing you can do is go in and file the sides just to make sure that it blends as evenly as possible. I would recommend not submerging your hands for around 2 hours after application, just to ensure the glue is fully dried and secured to your natural nail. I hope this video helped you guys out. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you can, give me a like and subscribe. And if you want to show a little love, leave a comment down below. I really appreciate all the support, and I will see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye!